What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have lots to go over. I mean lots, especially regarding this car here and this shop here. 2024, we have huge plans. So we kind of got to declutter this shop. I know that's not going to be too fun to watch, so I'm not going to film too much of decluttering the shop and throwing shit out. But this car is going to either have to be sold here, or if we bring it, it's going to have to pass an out of province inspection. And as you guys know from building this car over the years, it has almost everything done to it aside from boost and a wide body that you can do to a Civic. A lot of which is questionable if it's gonna pass. And I just did a cool project with this Civic that actually backfired and bit me in the ass very hard. I got this valve cover, well, the valve cover that was on it, the B16 valve cover, I took it off and I went to go get it powder coated and I got hosed. And I'll show you it before I get into it. So it looks all right. Now, it looks okay just seeing it here. The color and everything's nice. It's a little darker than I would have wanted. But here's what they messed up. I asked them to tape off all these mounting hardware locations, all the spark tube seals, and have my emblems bare. They didn't mask off anything I asked them to mask off, and then they took a die grinder and ground down my emblems to the point where the metal that's raised for them isn't even the same level, and there's still overspray on it. Not only that, I could look past all that if I could use this valve cover. Here's what really pisses me off and renders this valve cover now useless that once was a perfectly good valve cover. If you flip it over, they oversprayed the entire inside, and if you can see, it kind of looks a little bit sandy, is because they media blasted or sandblasted this, and all that material gets behind this baffle plate, and as you can tell, there's a million rivets. So now what I'd have to do in order to use this is drill out all these rivets, scrape off all the gasket maker, clean and strip off all the paint and media blasting material from the underside of this cover, RTV and rivet on the baffle plate, and hope that I did it all right to run this valve cover. Not only that, they didn't even tape off where the gasket goes, so now the gasket will never sit flush in there again. So long and short, they destroyed my valve cover, and as you can probably imagine, this box that's the same size underneath is a new used valve cover because I got mine destroyed just trying to get it powder coated. Unbelievable. She is. And boys, there you have it. Literally worse condition than the one that I had on there previously. And as you can see, look how much metal is raised up for these logos compared to this one. Like, they took off so much metal. It's not even funny. Look at how much these logos are raised. And then look at this. Is almost flat. They ground it down so much. Unfreaking believable. I need to clean this off and install this back on my engine so I can finally start my damn car again. It's been almost 3 weeks dealing with this whole fiasco. Just like that, valve cover's back on. Obviously doesn't look as good as the one that came off, but it works. It's not going to contaminate my engine. Really not stoked about that powder coating job. And now I have a valve cover in worse condition than the one that I already had on it. But you live and you learn. I just steer clear of getting valve covers painted. And as far as the steering wheel goes, we can get it installed, but what I don't have that I forgot about is the OEM clock spring. You can see that large gap there is supposed to be filled up with the clock spring. And then there's a little yellow connector you can barely just see right there. That plugs into the ribbon connector on the clock spring, and then from there the clock spring has two other connections that will plug into the airbag and plug into the cruise control module. So I basically just need to get a clock spring, and then the stock steering wheel is back installed, and hopefully we can reset the SRS and that light will indeed go away. So I've already put the Momo wheel back in. I've shown you putting wheels on this car a million times, so I figured I'd skip that process. This thing though is so dusty. And now that the car is dusted off, it definitely needs a wash, but it's to the point where it's so cold outside that the water will just freeze on it unless you drive it right away, and it's so freaking cold. So it's dusted off for now. Next thing we're gonna do is there's a couple plastics throughout the car, like here, there, that are missing, and I have a whole box of EG plastics in here, so I'm gonna dig through here and see if I can't find the missing pieces for this car. Well, I found a couple of them, but I'm still missing a few, and I feel like they're around here somewhere, but if you can't tell, I have way too much shit. Okay, well unfortunately I don't have any more plastics for the back, but I do have all these door card plastics that are gray. My door cards right now are like half gray, half black, so I'm gonna take all these and put them back onto the door cards, just so at least the door cards are matching. The interior of this car is a little bit messy. I got black Recaro seats and black everything else, so I started to go through the transformation of finding and or staining the interior plastics black, and I never really got done that project. As you can see, the door cards are indeed gray, but everything else is black. You can even see this trim here is gray, but everything else is black, and you have gray rear seats, gray headliner, black light. And as you can see, the door cards are like black, 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 but it's a gray door card. So I'm just trying to clean it up as best as possible. I never, like I just said, got finished dealing with the interior, so today I want to clean it up with the parts I have available. And just like that, we're back to factory grade door cards. We got the little handle and lock cup, the window winder, the handle tray, and the speaker grill, even though this car has no stereo, no speakers. At least we have a full gray door card now. It looks a lot more put together than half black and half gray. With all that being said and done, plastics are put back in that I had that weren't in. Everything that was gray is now put back to gray. There's no more black plastics on the gray. So now if the plastic is black, the whole thing's black. We don't have gray door cards with black inserts and everything like that. Car is dusted up. Till next time, guys, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.